Hello again. So I missed days 13 to 21, but I did end up finishing those days. The reason I wasn't able to make these videos is because I left my book at my parents' house, and I just didn't want to make them without having all the content that's in the book. So I'm going to do more of a reflection on the days now instead of doing them as I go and sharing as I go. But overall, the fast was awesome. I was able to complete it with very little problem. And, I just feel confident that the reason for that is just because God's leading me to do all of it. And even today being the first day done, I haven't really wanted to eat much of anything that's like outside of what I've been doing for the past 21 days, which is like amazing. It's definitely an answered prayer. I want to eat healthier and be healthier, and God's just given me that mindset to do that. So day 13 is the day I'll share right now, and it's titled Fear. And it basically just talks about how fear like freezes you. When you're afraid, you don't want to make a move because you're just scared. Like I don't really like heights, so I'm not one to go like cliff jumping or anything like jumping off rocks or bridges. Like you won't see me do that stuff. I'm not gonna be skydiving ever. You couldn't pay me enough money to skydive. But I feel that fear, when I do finally say like, I'm gonna jump off that bridge or whatever, those rocks, like I have that fear where it's like just freezing and I can't move. And that's kind of what the author's talking about with this title today. And it's also in life, there's things in your life that might be going on that you're afraid of, that you don't want to make a move because you're afraid of what might happen. But ultimately God says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's in Isaiah 41:10. And all throughout the Bible, it's, God is telling people not to be afraid because he's in control. Other verses that are shared, let me make sure I can find them, is Psalm 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked came against me to eat up my flesh, my enemies and foes, they stumbled and fell. Though an army may encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war may rise against me, in this I will be confident. So no matter what's going on, find confidence in God. Know that he's going to set things right for you. No matter how many people are against you, no matter what is against you, as long as you're trusting in God and listening to him and doing what he's leading you to do, he will bring you out of all of those things. So no need to fear. The next one is Psalm 56, 3. Whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you. In God, I will praise his word. In God, I have put my trust. I will not fear. What can flesh do to me? So no matter, what your enemy is, what you're up against, nothing of this world. So when it says flesh, to me it means like people, beings, anything that's brought on by, the physical realm, not the spiritual. Like, what can flesh do to me? Nothing that's done on this earth can do anything to me because God's in control. The next one is Isaiah 26, and it says, therefore the strong people will glorify you. The city of the terrible nations will fear you, for you have been a strength to the poor, a strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shade from the heat. For the blast of the terrible ones is as a storm against the wall. Yep, just the same concept. And there's so many Bible verses that talk about fear and why we shouldn't fear. The next one is Romans 8:15. Where are you? Okay. So Romans is a book about Jesus. It's sharing the gospel of Jesus. That's all, in the New Testament is all about Jesus. So on 15 it says, "For you did not receive the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you received the spirit of adoption by whom we cry out." So God didn't give us fear. Fear is not from God. He wouldn't make us fearful of anything. If you have fear, that's something that, the enemy puts up to stop you from doing something that you're called to do. God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, he gives us confidence. So if you're fearful about something, like, pray about it and ask God, is this fear supposed to stop me from, your will? There's been a lot of times in me and Kendall's life where we're afraid to just let go and let God work in our lives, whether it be with work or lack of work, especially last year during the whole pandemic. That was a scary time because we didn't know when Kendall was going to be able to go back to work and what that would look like. And it's just hard to sit back and wait without panicking about it. And
Mommy, we're going to somewhere fancy to eat right now.
Somewhere fancy because I'm on day 22. Okay, go out, please.
We're going to eat right now.
Okay, I'll be done in a little bit.
Okay.
Shut the door, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, love you.
Bye.
Okay, baby.
Love you, Mommy.
Love you, baby. Thank you. Celebrate. Okay. But yes, fear is not from God. And that's something that I continually remind myself about. So God speaks to me through my conscience, my feelings. He puts thoughts in my mind that I wouldn't come up with on my own, and words to say that I wouldn't come up with on my own. And that's how he speaks to me and how he guides me. And so if I feel fear, I don't let that stop me, because fear is not from God. Fear is from the enemy. And you have a scary dream, and the way that it makes you feel is so fearful, but that's not from God. Fear is not from God. And that's something that's super awesome to me, because it's just, it goes deep, it's anything that you're afraid of in your life, God's gonna protect you from that, because fear doesn't come from him. 2 Timothy 1:7 is the last one. Okay, where are you? It says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So he doesn't give us fear. He gives us power, he gives us love, and he gives us a sound mind. And throughout this fast a lot, I've talked about just feeling strong, feeling confident, and that's from God. God is filling me with those feelings.
It's not supposed to be a long video. It's supposed to be a short video.
I'm almost done. If you would leave me alone, I'll get done sooner, okay? Shut the door. Shut the door. Thank you. So, yes, power. God's given me power, powerful feelings. And that's something that I wish that everybody could feel and experience for themselves. And love is from God as well. Love is the ultimate. And that's just something that you carry with you every day. It doesn't have to be, it should be effortless. It shouldn't be something that drags you down or feels like a weight. Love is not heavy. So if something's heavy, you know, I don't know, like ask God, you know, give me love, give me the spirit of love, and help me to feel light. Because like that's kind of how I've felt more throughout this fast is light. I don't feel a burden. I don't feel like love is a burden. To love and care for my family and my friends and people that I don't see all the time, like it's not a burden. Just being able to feel that all the time, and you know, to just know, you just know that that love is there and it's present and it's not going away. And then a sound mind is the last one that verse talks about. And you know, you grow, you're growing every day, you're learning every day. You look back on yourself years ago and think like, wow, I've come so far. And that's all great. Like but that's everyone, you know, everyone is growing and everyone is learning and transforming in their minds. But if you let God have your mind, if you let him take over on that, he'll bring you so much farther than you ever could have imagined. And I know with where I am in life, working, being a full-time mom, starting homeschooling with Fievel now, I could not do that without a sound mind that is like from God. So like I said, I don't carry heavy burdens. Those things aren't burdens to me. Getting my work done is not a burden. You know, having to find babysitters to go to work on certain days isn't a burden. And homeschooling Fievel is like totally new. It's a new challenge, but it's not a burden. God's given me that sound mind where I can just go through life and not worry and not have fear like this day is talking about. So if I get stressed and overwhelmed, you know, I just ask God to just give me that sound mind and that power. And he definitely does answer those prayers. And so with that, I just ask that everybody takes that into consideration, you know. Those are all things that people strive for every day. It's something that everybody wants. Power, love, and a sound mind. And I know that so many people are like beyond smart and educated and, you know so much more than I do. But man, I wish that like you would allow God into your life, because you would see how much more you could do. And like that's an exciting thing to me, to just know like, wow, if God can do that to me, like he can do that. He can do so much more with so many other people. So yeah, ask him into your heart. Ask him to give you power, love, and a sound mind. And just keep working on that every day. And yeah, that's day 13.